Welcome back, everybody. So I started back into videos yesterday, and then I went to a neighbor's and fell off their front porch. And so for those of you who may have stopped in to visit me at the shop today, I wasn't there. I've been at home. I hobbled out here because I want to show you a super duper friend of mine. Last night, after meeting with some friends, I stepped out their front door and twisted my ankle in a devastating fashion. Have any of you ever damaged yourselves so significantly that it made you throw up from the pain? That was me last night. And for reference, I have had 2 children at home. One was a 10-pound, 4-ounce baby with no medication or pain help. I have a really high threshold for pain, and spraining your ankle like this is really painful. So I'm out of commission today, and I thought it would be a great time to show you what those of us who don't go to the hospital for everything, don't go to the hospital for, I guess it depends on how you quantify emergencies, but my emergency is, I guess, when a limb is falling off. Last night was really awful. It happened, I was out by myself and I had to drive home by myself, and I called Carson from the road and said I was coming home and that I had been damaged, and asked him to go out and pick the Comfrey. So Comfrey is something else that I write about in Heal Local. Symphytum officinale. There are actually a lot of different species that we can use, and I'm gonna try and I'm getting the hang of this camera work, so I apologize. I'm gonna try and get you a good picture because it is up. This is Comfrey, and this is all the taller that it is right now, and you'll see it's fuzzy and it's green. It's actually kind of like a cat's tongue. Let's see if I can get a good close up here. Kind of cat's tongue like. I had Carson pick it and bring it inside and make it into a tea. So he just grabbed the leaves and he put it in there, crunched them up a little bit, and added hot water into a quart. And I've been doing what's called a compress all day. We have the chickens and ducks free ranging today. I'll turn this around so you can see the mayhem that is going on in my yard right now. Ducks and chickens running amok, and I'm sure they will wander into this shot here before too long. We have loud female ducks coming up behind me. Here we go. These are fun. One is speaking, the other is silent. They've been running back and forth across the yard all day, hopefully picking up ticks, because we've seen a couple ticks come in on the dog, but I digress. So Carson made me this tea, and I've been using this cloth then to put right onto my ankle and the top of my foot. My ankle spun underneath me so hard and so extreme that it actually flung me to the ground. I skinned my knee through my jeans on the other foot and bruised the top of that foot as well. And I haven't been able to figure out how I can show you my feet on this video, so I'm gonna put a picture of the comparison in the comments because it's pertinent to what this is. Just, oh gosh, this happened at 9:30 last night. So right now it is almost like 5 o'clock today. So we're not quite 24 hours in. And Comfrey is amazing for bruising. It's amazing if you think you might have almost really broken something. They always say about sprains that you wish you'd broken it because it would hurt less. That is kind of the case here. Basically, my foot twisted this way underneath, and it pulled all the tendons that connect my foot. Standing stable, it pulled all of these tendons on this side and across the top of my foot. I may have cracked tiny bones across the top of my foot, I don't know, but the best thing that I can do for those tiny cracks would be Comfrey. The best thing that I can do for the bruising is Comfrey. It has been helping with swelling. I did ice immediately, and Then I also did our local Ohio apothecary, their CBD oil for pain. Once I threw up, I felt a little bit better, but the pain was pretty intense across the top of my foot. I love competing with ducks and chickens when I try and talk. Guess it's better than kids. The other thing that I used was this arnica, and I see that everything in this video is going to be backwards, so I apologize for that. I used the arnica internally as a homeopathic. We never use arnica internally unless it is a homeopathic. And you can use arnica topically. I could use arnica topically today. There is no broken skin. I could use cream, and that's really good for blunt force trauma. That's what this arnica is for too. It's for a trauma that needs tissues that are torn or bruising that is going to appear. So I used this. I used Ohio Apothecary's CBD oil, and I don't sell the homeopathic, so if you're looking for that, you have to get it someplace else. But if you would like the CBD oil, we do have it in our store. And then I just took a cloth. When I got home, I used this cloth and I soaked it in the tea that Carson made. And I put it on the affected area. In this case, it's not a wound. So that's what a compress is. You make a tea and you use your cloth to soak up the liquid and put it on. We could have done a poultice, which is the fresh plant material. It's just, I was laying in bed with my foot up in ice, so we used this. Comfrey will get much bigger than what it is right now, and it doesn't matter. We can use it now. It's above ground, it's green, it's ready to go. You can argue that it's going to become more potent as it begins to put forth the flower, but really we can cut and use it at any point as we need. Sometimes we need the plants when they aren't at peak perfection, and that's okay. When we need them, we need them. And so I picked them, Carson picked it and didn't use a whole lot. As you can see, turned this lovely green, and I'm continuing to use this as a soak. I may take a bath and soak later on and actually soak my foot, my whole foot and ankle in there just to keep it moving. It will help with those tissues. It will help with the ligaments, and it will help with any bones that are cracked. I haven't done anything like this to myself in quite a while. So this was fun and a definite interruption. Sometimes these things happen and it seems like it's a forcible way to say it's time for you to sit down. I have so much writing and so much research that I've been wanting to do, and there's just not enough time because I'm in the shop and we've been creating a heck of a lot of new products, and I've been so focused on that I haven't been writing, but I am working on that now. I have to. I may be sitting for another day. My foot is relatively in good shape. Like I said, I'll take a picture. It's in pretty decent shape. But I want to take care and not walk around on it while it is swollen. Your foot, you don't have a lot of real estate there for the swelling to go anywhere. And that pressure, especially if you have possibly damaged some of those bones, that pressure can add to the problem. So I'm taking it easy. I'm letting my ligaments go back to the non-super stretched position that they were in. And, well, hello there. Hi there. Don't peck my toes, please. And I'm going to let the bone sit. Hopefully I don't have any bone damage there. If I do, I'll go. If it doesn't heal up, I'll go and have it x-rayed and take care of that. But most likely the Comfrey will take care of that on its own. And if you have any questions about how to take care of these, in my book Heal Local, I talk about how you would handle a blunt force trauma. I have sprains in there. There are points at which things are so damaged that you really need a medical professional to help you with. Last night, I was able to control the pain. We looked, the swelling wasn't out of control. There was no bleeding. There was no alarming bruising underneath the skin. I could wiggle my toes. I could slightly move my foot back and forth. And we also didn't see any constriction of blood flow. There was no alarming color in my foot. And those are all things that you want to keep an eye on when you have an injury like that. Otherwise, it's really just going to be pain and swelling that you need to manage, and taking time and care and rest. So I have all of that in the book, along with how you would use plants to help with that sort of the management of the swelling and the pain and the bruising, but along with helping you understand what we call the scope of practice, knowing where you end and where the next professional begins. We don't want to take care of everything at home just because we feel like that's the ideal, or it's more noble or more freedom loving. We take care of ourselves at home when it makes sense, and when it's necessary to go and get somebody else's help. That's what makes sense, regardless of what our ideals are. We haven't failed. It's just what it is. Had it been worse than it was last night, we would have gone to the emergency room, and I wouldn't have considered that a failure, that I couldn't take care of myself. But Heal Local is all about giving you those metrics and helping you determine where your skill set ends for now, and later your skill set may go even further and you may be able to handle more things, but knowing where that is in safety. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm going to post this out on our Facebook feed, and that picture will be in there. I may actually, in this YouTube video, I'll also add it as one of the snapshots there that you can scroll through. So if you have any questions or you want to know, I'll provide updates on our Facebook Soda Farm Cafe, and I'm trying to figure out how to put this on Instagram. If you know, if you can give me tips on how to do that, let me know. But otherwise, I would love to hear your feedback. Have you ever dealt with this? Have you dealt with something like this? Did you use different herbs? Maybe yarrow? Chime in. We'd love to hear from you, and hope you all are doing well. Talk to you soon.